Hey everybody, so this is going to be the demo video for our bubble letter name sculptures, okay? So just watch carefully. I'll go through the steps of how you can create your bubble letters, and then we'll be working with some cardboard. So right now I have, this is one sheet of paper and I have two other sheets of paper. Now you guys know you can use any kind of paper. You can use your journal paper, you can use lined paper, you can use construction paper if you have it. So I'm going to use these two pieces just to utilize them later. And you will also need some items to color with. So I have crayons, you can use markers, I have some liquid glue, I have tape as well, depends on your preference. And I also have a cereal box. Okay. So this will end up being utilized and cut to kind of give us our structure for our name sculptures for today. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to start off by doing is I obviously need to start making my bubble letters. All right. So I want to make sure that I'm using a kind of my full sheet and that I make sure that my letters are starting off by being nice and big. So once you get to the step where you're ready to make your sculpture, you would have practiced out a couple different styles of creating a bubble letters, but I'll go through how we can start from scratch and work our ways up to our name sculptures. Okay, sorry guys, let me tilt it up. Right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write my name. I'm gonna write my name in about 2 rows because I want to make sure these are nice and big. Okay. So R A C H. And you want to make sure when you're just even by starting out by creating your bubble letters, you want to space out each letter of your name is going to be spaced out. All right. So now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go around what I wrote, and I'm creating like rectangular shape. Now you want to make sure that when you're doing this for your bubble letters, it is even. Okay. When I mean even, I mean that it is thick or thin throughout your entire letter that you're drawing. So that means that let me flip this over. Damn, I had this example, guys. But that means that if I'm writing my name, and that's an R right there, and I'm getting kind of wide at the bottom, I don't want to just move up and have a point at the top and then try to clear it out, and it's not the same width. Okay, so you want to make sure it's wide. If it's wide down there, it's going to be wide up here. Okay, you want that to be the same for you. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just create rectangular shape around each part of the line that I drew. All right, so when you're ready to really use this for and this is just gonna be our working template, you can go ahead and cut out around it. Okay. So I'm gonna do this for each letter of my name, and like I said, you guys have different font styles that you can choose from, but just be mindful of your craftsmanship, how neat it is, all of the good stuff. And it is a-okay for you to pull up a font style that you really like. Doesn't have to be one of the generic ones we're just practicing in class. Be a different one. Okay. See how I go through. And I'm not gonna color this sheet. No, I know you guys are gonna want to jump ahead to coloring, but you don't need to color this sheet. This is just gonna be our working template, and it'll be neater if we trace it. Okay, so there we go. So I have all 6 letters of my first name written out in bubble letters. So that is great. I'm just gonna flip it over so you guys can see. Right? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to grab what I need for today. Okay. So a little cheat sheet, and you want to make sure all your papers are lined up. If you're not the steadiest, you don't have the steadiest hand with cutting, you may want to kind of just wait for this step. But if you want to kind of jump ahead, you can go ahead and layer your papers together and we'll end up cutting them. Okay, so the reason why I'm using one red sheet or one yellow sheet, and the reason why you guys will have 3 papers in total, is because you can have the option of making sure both sides of your name sculpture are completely covered. Okay, so that means that, you know, our cardboard is kind of dark, but if you don't want to draw directly on the cardboard, then you have an option to cover up the to decorate on your other 2 sheets, or to also decorate on the plain side of the cardboard as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start cutting out each letter. Okay, so I'm gonna demo about 2 letters for us, just so this video is not too long for you guys. So I think I'll do the L, keep that down there. I'm gonna do C and H. You want to keep it nice and together. Don't want them to shift too much over. Tracing and tracing and tracing. And then cutting. And this will all make sense in a second, I promise, guys. So I got my C's, right? Got my C's together right here. And so the cool thing is, say if my cardboard was cut out, I could use this to tape and glue on one side, and then it would cover the next side as well. Okay, so these are gonna be great for decorating. Go ahead and clean these other letters up. Okay, now I have my L down here. And then my R is the last one. I think that one's the biggest, so it'll be super fun for us. There. And then the next step is we're gonna start looking at our cardboard and cutting that out, and then we'll end up decorating a couple of these letters and see what they look like or how we'll put them together. That's all I'm doing, just cutting, cutting, cutting. And then make sure you hold them together. You can also just cut one of your copies out, and then I'm gonna do some tracing over it. So now I have my cardboard in my hand. I'm gonna separate it first. I'm taking my cereal box, cutting it up. Step, I'm going to take one, probably the demo sheet, so the white ones that have the lines on it. I'm going to take that, I'm going to place it down. Okay, so keep your other letters together, please, 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 everyone. There we go. So this is down, so I'm going to use my use my Sharpie to trace where it's at. Okay, so I'm using a couple fingers to just hold it down. And then make sure you don't shift it too much. That one. Let me do the same one for this guy. And then my R. And down. Okay. So next I'm gonna once again use my nice handy dandy scissors. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the cereal box cardboard with these letters out, and then some more steps, guys, so just bear with me. Okay, so I'm just cutting off around where the marker is. Here we go. Let me place the R over here. I don't want this video to be too long for us. Alright, so I'm cutting out this C right here.